This is the Trading Playbook, where the charts do the talking, and every session makes you a better trader. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Saturday episode of the Trading Playbook. My name is Lawton Ho here at Verified Investing, and I'm so glad that you are here. Before I get any further, a couple things. First of all, guys, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Verified Investing YouTube channel. It really helps us out and allows us to continue to create free content for all of you guys to watch, just like this. And please leave a comment of what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you want to see next. I read each and every one of the comments, so that thank you so much for all the positive feedback. But anyways, happy Saturday. One more final announcement. It's a big announcement. I'm so proud of this, guys. Gareth and we have just started a brand new service called the $1 Million Long-Term Investor. And it's a long-term portfolio geared towards anyone who might not have the time to consistently trade, or is a little more conservative, right? And can be stacked on any other services you have. Basically, what we're doing is buying beaten up names, like maybe buying Oracle and holding it for the long term, continuing to maneuver in and out of the position while keeping a core position to continue to collect money or using dividends over time. Now, it's going to be a lot more conservative than maybe what you're used to for swing trading, but we will continue to stack gains and grow the portfolio exponentially over time. With that being said, let's hop into it, the play. So up on the screen, I have the S&P up, and I have a couple of pointers on the right. But before we use these kind of numbers, think about it like this. Let's say you didn't have any of the lines on the chart. You just saw S&P $738. And you had to find out where's support, where is resistance, where could you see this thing going, where might you buy it? Or at an even simpler question, what price is the SPY at right now? Would you answer $738.03? Some of you might, but most of you wouldn't. Would you say $738? Potentially, right? $738. Or some of you guys would, if you were explaining this in conversation or to another trader or to us, you'd say $740, right? Some of you would then say $740. And then, broader than that, maybe you say, oh, it's around $750, right? So there are tiers, and they get less and less specific, right? But generally a ballpark of where something could be. So that's what a psychological number is, right? So we're looking for a couple things. First of all, we're usually looking for a whole round number, right? Especially when you're talking about stocks that are up and over $100, generally looking for whole round numbers. Maybe if the stock is sub $100, maybe sub $50, right? What might you say instead? Is it $47.49? Is it $47? Is it $48? Or would you say it's $47.50, right? That's where that 0.5 would come in. But generally, you're looking for whole round numbers that are easy for our brains to kind of digest, right? But when we're looking at psychological numbers, we're looking for whole round numbers or numbers that sound good in our head, followed by levels that are close to or around the current trading price or the price you're trying to indicate, right? If I say that this stock, the S&P, got as low, dipped down here to $629.28, is that what I would say? I might, but the more likely thing I would say is, well, the SPY got as low as $630 on this dip back in March, right? Finally, we're looking for multiples in 5, 10, and 50, really. So yeah, $740 $40 could be a great level to indicate right now, But if we're taking a look at, hey, maybe we're going to find resistance if it moves up, my eyes directly drift to what level? Not $745, but $750, just because it works in our brain. And that's the point of a psychological number. It's not necessarily chart based, but us as humans, right? If we were to say, and this is the most important part, if you are a retail investor looking at a chart and saying, I like the S&P, I'm going to buy it here and I'm just going to hold it and I'm just going to look to sell it for a couple dollar gain, right? Say I wanted to make 10, 20 bucks on this, where would I put my sell level? Would I put it at $750.88? Would I set it to $748.29? No, I'd probably just set it at 750 bucks and be like, if it gets back up to 750 bucks, I'm going to sell it, right? Or they put that when they look at any chart and put arbitrary numbers up, right? Let's say they were looking at SanDisk and saying, well, if SanDisk got at $2,000, I'd sell it there, right? That's where I would sell. Or if SanDisk ever got below, basically back to $1,000, I'd buy it again, right? That's a key example of how a psychological level could work. Now, they don't usually work to the exact penny, but they can give you kind of a ballpark level of where you're looking to potentially find support or resistance, right? So let's see, do these really work? Lawton just explained what my brain does and was so simple anyways, and he took 5 minutes to do it. Well, do they work? That's a great question. Let's take a look at the SPY. $750, key psychological level, because our brain automatically goes by hundreds, right? And 50 denominations. $750 sounds a lot easier for your brain to comprehend than a 730 level, which sounds better than a $727 level, right? So $750, we can see what happened on the SPY. Well, it pushed up, pulled back just shy of it, pushed up, and then had another pullback from it. And you can see since then it has been in a tight range between two key levels, $750 and $740, right? With that $750 level being stronger, right? Another example, when I talked about down here, key level to break isn't $629.30 or 28 cents, right? See, I just did it there. It's 600, it's 700, it's $629.28. But you would say $630 in this case. I'm getting mixed up with my numbers. I apologize, guys. On this dip here on the SPY, where did you get a bounce? Just under $720. Yeah, it got down to $716.53, but that 720 psychological level came into play. I'll show you on a couple other charts, and we're just going to remember these rules. I'll see if you guys can find examples. So taking a look at this, can you see any key psychological levels that we might have traded around that could have provided support or resistance? You can pause it here and determine for yourself. All right. Well, first off, key level $750. And oops. While it didn't necessarily get there exactly and pierce there, it came pretty darn close, basically right there. Right. And that's why I'm saying we're using this as a ballpark of where you're expecting resistance, around $750. When it came down, where did it come down? Basically $560. Ballpark around this $750 or $550 to $560 level, right? So we're continuing to look at these. LITE, same thing. What is this key level here? $600 this past week. Look how many times it pierced $600 or hit $600, then it had a bounce. There's an 8% bounce. Here's a 4.5% bounce, right? Key psychological levels to the upside. Yeah, it got past $1,000 on LITE briefly, right? Almost to that $1,100 we're talking about. but eventually did get that pullback at that psychological level. And when it came back up, also pulled back from a similar level. We can keep going down the line. Where did SanDisk stop on Wednesday? Right here, $1,000, $1,000. Another key level to watch, right? Just continuing to hammer down that yes, these kind of levels make sense in our brain. They're easy for us to understand. But if they're easy for us to understand and draw as potential levels, so is retail. Imagine you're looking at this chart with no knowledge of technical analysis. You're just using whole round numbers, right? Or throwing a dart on the board. And that's what you're using for support and resistance. A couple more. Micron, look at this. $750 on Wednesday. Got so close to that level and bounced just shy of that. That's why I said ballpark. This level is so comforting to us in our brains, and seeing it get right there, right there's the bounce. Final one, Reddit. When this thing pushed up initially on the IPO, where did it first find resistance? Right here, perfectly, basically at $230. Now, it's hard to know which psychological level is going to be the correct one. It's hard for me to say right now that if it pushes up, $290 is going to be the psychological it pulls back from. But as I am closer, and this is why I kind of hammered down and says it has to be near the current trading price for close term support. I'm not talking about long term necessarily. I'm looking at something near, because I can't look at this and confidently say 290, right? I could say that $300. What do I know? It's a whole round number. So it's going to be more powerful because it's a multiple of a 5, of a 10, of a 50, and a multiple of 100, right? So that's going to be a lot of psychological resistance. But right here, what levels am I looking at? Near term, $200 for resistance. Near term bottom support, $150, right? All right, guys. I hope that made sense. And this is something that we automatically do, but just recognizing it and using it to kind of set levels, right? To kind of improve our trading will help us become better traders and maneuver the markets even better, and kind of get a look into what retail likes to think when they're just getting started trading. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. My name, again, is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And on tomorrow's video, I'm going to give you 3 actionable trade setups using key psychological levels on a couple charts coming up real soon. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Life moves fast. One day you're starting your career, the next you're raising a family, running a business, paying a mortgage, and wondering where the last 10 years went. Most people know they should be investing for the future. The problem is they don't know who to trust, what to buy, or when to make a move. That's why we created $1 Million Long-Term Investor. I'm Gareth Soloway. For decades, I've studied the market cycles, investor psychology, and the forces that drive long-term wealth creation. One thing I've learned is that not every dollar should be traded actively. Some capital deserves a different approach, a more patient approach, a more disciplined approach. That's exactly what $1 Million Long-Term Investor is designed to provide. To help lead that effort, I've partnered with Verified Investing pro trader Lawton Ho. Together, we manage a $1 million model portfolio built around the principles of long-term investing, transparency, and disciplined risk management.
Most investors don't want to sit in front of charts all day. They have careers, families, and responsibilities. They want their money working for them, even when they're focused on everything else that life demands. That's the investor we're building this portfolio for. We focus primarily on high-quality companies, dividend-paying stocks, and major ETFs positioned to benefit from longer-term market cycles. Positions are often built gradually over time. We'll add when opportunities develop. We'll sometimes take partial profits along the way. And we'll often maintain a core position to stay invested in the bigger move. When market conditions call for it, we may also take defensive positions to help protect capital during broader market downturn. The goal isn't constant activity. The goal is disciplined portfolio growth over time. As a member, you'll be able to follow the portfolio as it evolves. You'll receive updates whenever changes are made. You'll see the positions we're building, the adjustments we're making, and the reasoning behind every decision. Twice each week, I'll provide portfolio updates covering current positions, market conditions, and opportunities we're monitoring next. No guessing, no hidden trades, just transparency.
Building wealth isn't about finding the next hot stock. It's about making smart decisions consistently over time. That's how portfolios grow. That's how retirement accounts grow. And that's how long-term wealth is built. If that's the approach you're looking for, we'd love to have you join us. Welcome to Million Dollar Long-Term Investor.